Growing up in Kenya, my sister and I were very close. But like any sisters, we fought a lot. She always got new clothes, and I always got hand-me-downs. Now, she's putting her children through school in Kenya. We still fight sometimes, especially when I send money for the kids. I tell her, buy some clothes for the younger one, and we both laugh.
With nearly 500,000 locations, our app and online, this is moving money for better.
What's up, people? It's your girl Adeola. Can you guys believe it's been 2 years since more than 200 girls were kidnapped by Boko Haram? Yet our girls are still in captivity. You know, last week CNN released a video where 15 of the girls identified themselves and they talked about where they were kidnapped.
An off-camera voice asks each girl, "What's your name?" Is that the name your parents recognize? Where were you taken from, the voice asks.
I don't know why we're only seeing 15 girls in this video, but in the same video, we also saw 3 mothers watching the video and reacting to it. Take a look.
Another girl is identified. One by one, they name all 15 girls. But one mother, Yala, realizes her daughter isn't there.
That particular mother did not see her own daughter in the video. That's why she's crying, because she has no idea where she is or even if she's still alive. Honestly, these women are strong. 2 years of not seeing your child, knowing that she's constantly being raped, being molested, being tortured. As of last year, do you know that 11 of the parents had died? Most of them had a heart attack. They had heart failure, high blood pressure. One of the fathers went into coma all of a sudden, and he kept repeating the name of his daughter until he died.
Why is it that our as doctors, even one out of more than 300 or 500 girls and women and children that has been rescued from Sambisa, why is it our own have not been recovered?
That's the reality on ground. My main beef is with the attitude of this present administration. Before winning this election, Buhari promised us that he would do whatever he could to bring the girls back. It's been a year. Are they still strategizing, like many people have been telling me? Many people ask me, Adeola, what else do you want him to do? I'm like, whatever he would have done if Zara was the one that was kidnapped, let him do that. Or whatever they would do if it was Kiki or Simbajo that was kidnapped. I mean, you know what? Forget it. As if to add insult upon injury, how could he deny the Bring Back Our Girls protesters access to the presidential villa last Wednesday? They wanted to mark the 2 years of the kidnapping, and they wanted to remind him to hurry up in whatever he's doing to find the girls. He didn't allow them to the presidential villa. And you want me to believe that he's doing everything to get the girls back? At least show that you care. Show the parents that you care. Instead, he has the information minister telling us stories. Mr. Lai Mohammed Mbame. Honestly, I'm really disappointed. Like, no, you disappointed me too much. You know, they showed this man the same video that I showed you guys of the girls. Can you believe what he said?
If you study the video, you find that the questions were asked in a rather very controlled environment.
Seriously, so they were in a controlled like, God have mercy. Can you imagine? We know that. I mean, they are in captivity. So they are asking them these questions in a controlled environment. Everybody knows that. Tell us something we don't know.
Then we were a bit concerned too that after 2 years in captivity, the girls in the video were under no stress whatsoever.
Hey, are you serious? They are not under stress. I don't get it. Why is that even an issue, whether the girls are under any duress or under any stress or not? It's been 2 years that these girls had been kidnapped. You didn't come for them for 2 years. You don't think that by now they've accepted their fate, that clearly you don't care about them? What kind of stress do you want them to show? So many of these girls have been used as suicide bombers. Do you guys know that? There was one of them not long ago that refused to detonate her bomb only because she saw her parents in the crowd where she was supposed to detonate the bomb. Some of those that escaped said that the girls themselves are actually the ones volunteering to go and blow themselves up because they're tired and they're fed up of being raped every day by several men and being tortured and all the horrific things that they make them see. I'm sure that you guys have seen several videos of those that escaped. In case you've not, here is one of the girls talking about wanting to kill herself.
When they wanted me to kill the first man, my body was shaking and I fell down on the ground. They forced me to get up and watch as they killed the second person. At that point, I was thinking I should grab a gun from the insurgents and kill myself since they taught us how to shoot.
So that's the reality that these girls are facing. So telling us that they don't look stressed is like, are you kidding me?
There has been little or no transformation to their physical appearance.
Physical appearance? Why are we even talking about their physical appearance? Oh God, exactly what is he comparing them with? I mean, can you tell us something tangible that, you know, this is what we've done, this is where we are?
There are ongoing talks, but of course many of these investigations cannot be disclosed, you know, openly because it could also endanger, you know, the negotiations.
Negotiations going on cannot be disclosed. See, that's the same story that they've been telling us for 1 year since this new administration came in. You've been telling us the same thing. At the end of the video, one of the girls said that, oh, they are well, that all of them, they are well. But her body language says something completely different.
We are all well, she says pointedly, perhaps suggesting girls not seen in this video. She then delivers what sounds like a scripted plea, urging the Nigerian government to fulfill unspecified promises.
Yeah, does that look to you like somebody that is well and happy? She didn't even look at the camera. Clearly, that's what they told her to say, okay? Well, I'm really disappointed. I'm honestly really disappointed. If such a thing could happen, and this is something that got the attention of the whole world, and our government is not able to save not even one of the girls, if they kidnap the whole group and they've not been able to save not even one, what hope do individuals have? If you were kidnapped tomorrow, my brother, do you think Nigerian government will come looking for you? My sister, if you were kidnapped, or if your daughter was kidnapped, or your sons, would the Nigerian government come to your rescue? But you guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. So while everybody is talking about 2 years since the girls were kidnapped and the whole world is trying to mark that day and talk about the way forward, you guys will not believe what our senators were doing. That very same day, they were busy amending the Code of Conduct Bureau Tribunal Act. You guys know that the tribunal is the one that has been trying the Senate President, Bukola Saraki, as well as so many others that have been accused of embezzling money. Well, now, these senators are trying to amend our constitution so that the tribunal, where they are being tried, will no longer be as powerful. And especially, they want to make sure that the president will not have veto power on the decision made by the tribunal. As it is right now in our constitution, if the president doesn't like the decision of the tribunal, let's say they decide not to convict Bukola Saraki, the president can renounce that decision. But right now, the Senate president wants the veto power over the tribunal to be transferred from the presidency to the Senate. And guess what happened? Within a week, this bill to amend the power of the tribunal passed first reading and second reading at the Senate within a week. In fact, I've been told that this is so far the most accelerated amendment of act in the history of the Nigerian Senate. The very day it marked 2 years that our girls were kidnapped, I thought the senators would suspend everything, march to Aso Rock and say, what are we doing about finding these girls? No, it was business as usual. On that very same day, these shameless men asking me how to get away with stealing our money. And you know the ridiculous thing is, Saraki is not even hiding it any longer that he's corrupt, because now he's trying to get the cooperation of other senators by buying them brand new Toyota Land Cruiser V8. 36 Toyota Land Cruiser, and each one of them costs 35 million naira. That is $175,000 each that he's spending on cars to bribe them so that they can transfer the veto power of the tribunal to the Senate. I don't know if there's any hope for Nigeria when we're letting people like this get away with such bold steps of corruption. If this was a Yahoo boy that we're talking, by now he would be in prison. Why is it that when the Senate president is the criminal, these people are looking away, trying to change the constitution in order to favor the Senate president that they all know has stolen money? You know, this bill has now been forwarded to the Senate committee on Ethics and Judiciary for them to submit their recommendations within 2 weeks. They said they should submit their recommendations. Meanwhile, another thing that has been paining me is Mr. President, hey, first of all, you're welcome. Thank you for coming. First of all, the fact that you've been traveling everywhere, people are now asking when you will visit Nigeria, you know, like when you will actually travel to your own country. It baffles me. I don't get it. And why are we borrowing money from China again to another $2 billion? What happened to all the money that they borrowed when Donald was the president? All the money we borrowed from China, what did we do with the money? And what happened to all the money stolen by Nigerian officials? Why can't we just use that to do whatever we want to do with this $2 billion? What happened to the missing $20 billion? I mean, that's it? That's the end of it? Why must we always be the one borrowing? Borrow? Even Tanzania said now they want to be the one lending money. We have no shame in Nigeria. Do you know that Angola has now overtaken us in oil production? Yes, Benny. Now Angola is the biggest oil producer in Africa. We have no shame. How do you say that you're going to borrow money from somebody, by the way, and you come in a private jet? That one, you know, if you say you want to borrow money from me now and then I see you in a Mercedes Benz, you know, I would look at you twice like, are you for real? In fact, what do you do with 8, 9, 10 private jets? Didn't we shout about this when Jonathan was there? The other time that there was news that he sold 9 private jets, you know, everybody was happy that this is a serious government, this new government, they mean business, only for us to find out na lie. What is stopping you since that news came out and you saw how people reacted? They had hope. What's been stopping you since then to sell the private jets? As a matter of fact, if you sell some of these private jets, won't you raise the $2 billion that you went to China to borrow? How much is a private jet? Thank you. Imagine we have about 10 of them sitting in Nigeria. If we just sell about 5, 6 of them, or even 8 of them, the money they are using to maintain about 10 private jets alone, we would raise the money that we are going to China to borrow. But what I don't know is why anybody would want to lend us money. I don't know. Because if I know someone has a record of mismanaging money, I won't borrow them money. In America, before you can get any loans, they will do a credit check to know if you've been paying your bills regularly and on time, you know. If you don't have a good record, they won't lend you money. The bank will not give you shishi. $20 billion disappeared. We cannot account for it and we are still going to borrow money. Is it really? Several of our officials have stolen billions of dollars. We arrest them and bill them the following day. Yet we are going to borrow money. Does that look like we know how to manage money? Nigeria made more than $500 billion from oil within the last 50 years. What did we do with it? Nothing. We cannot account for that $500 billion. Now we are selling the future of our children to China and every other places because of $2 billion. Why now? China is going to make a lot of money off of this money that they are lending us, you know. And this is not just about the ridiculous interest rate. They are bringing their own people to Nigeria. Have you heard that they are learning Igbo, Hausa, or Yoruba in China? No, they are not learning our own language. Now we are learning their language. And not only that, all the constructions going on, since they are the one lending us money, they will say you should hire our contractors. Have you not been seeing Chinese contractors? And then the money we borrow from them, we pay it back to them, you know, and they don't collect money in Naira, by the way. They want it in either yen or dollars. So we borrow money from them and they give us their contractors, so we are paying back the money we borrow from them. And the interesting thing is, the human rights lawyer, Femi Falana, already mapped out how Nigeria can raise $200 billion without going to borrow money from anybody. Apart from the $20 billion the NNPC has refused to remit back into the federal government's account, in 2006, Mr. Falana said that central banks spent $7 billion from our external reserve in order to bail out 14 banks. They are yet to pay that money back. In 2008, central banks spent $4 billion to bail out more banks. That is $11 billion total that a Nigerian bank borrowed from the Nigerian government's foreign reserve. Till today, the bank have not paid the money. Why can't we make this bank pay this money? Do you guys know how much banks have made since Naira plummeted? Last year, NNPC said that they've concluded an arrangement to recover $9.6 billion in over-deducted tax benefit from joint venture partners on major capital projects and oil swap contracts. How come the $9.6 billion is yet to be remitted into the federal government's account and we are not saying anything about it? We are going to borrow money from China. In 2009, Mobile was supposed to pay NNPC $2.5 billion. $2.5 billion. The payment for renewing their licenses for 3 oil blocks. They only paid $600 million. Why can't we hold them accountable for the remaining $1.9 billion? From 1998 to 2014, Nigerian government have been paid $4 billion. $4 billion from the $5 billion that the former President Sani Abacha stole when he was president. What happened to that money that they've paid us back? $4 billion. What are we doing about getting the remaining $1 billion? You see what I'm saying? We don't need to go and borrow from anybody. In 2009, a Chinese company, you know, we've been dealing with Chinese people for a long time. A Chinese company was awarded $470 million for them to construct CCTV cameras all over Abuja and all over Lagos. Have you heard about any CCTV camera? It was abandoned years ago. Why can't we hold the Chinese people in Nigeria accountable and get back our $470 million from them? They got paid. They just didn't do the job, and they knew that nobody will come after them. In fact, there has been several bomb attacks in Abuja. You know, Boko Haram has killed so many people in Abuja. Did you ever hear that an attack was captured on a camera in Nigeria? They went to look at the CCTV to see the face of the attack. No, in a civilized country, they would have sued that Chinese company by now. Not only that, in 2011, our government allocated 245 billion naira for fuel subsidy. Yet the federal government fraudulently paid out 2.5 trillion naira. We allocated 245 billion, but we ended up spending 2.5 trillion. Paying oil marketers, paying fuel importers. That is $16 billion. We need to get this $16 billion back. The list goes on and on. You should please take time to read the article by Femi Falana on how Nigeria can successfully recover $200 billion without going to China or anywhere to borrow money. These people, they are making a mess of everything. But you guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. So, have you heard? Did you see the news? More than 2,000 Zimbabweans protested, yes, so, against President Robert Mugabe of Zimbabwe. Whoa! I was like, no way, no way. What happened? Because I don't remember the last time I heard that Zimbabweans protested. Actually, I remember the protest of April 2000, where Mugabe sent soldiers and policemen to attack protesters, you know. When I heard that 2,000 people protested this time around, I was glad. I was like, it's about time. I'm so glad that Zimbabweans are coming out, speaking up. But you know, you can't really blame Zimbabweans. For a long time, Mugabe has tried to instill fear in them. This man has instilled fear in people because he has killed a lot of people. Like the 20,000 people that he killed one time in Matabeleland. So that's why people don't really protest. So I'm glad that they are coming out of that. They are protesting the alarming rate of unemployment in Zimbabwe. I've been hearing that jobs are so scarce, which makes money really, really scarce. They also protested misappropriation of public funds. They are saying that Mugabe and his family are the only ones enjoying this money. And then they protested that MPs are getting $15,000 while civil servants are getting $0. They demanded accountability for the diamond money. You guys know that Zimbabwe had a lot of diamond. Now the diamond is gone, but they don't know what Mugabe did with the diamond money. And then they said Mugabe is starving his own people. You guys know that Zimbabweans are now facing the worst drought ever. They even called the man old and clueless. I don't agree with that one. Why would you say the man is old? Because you guys know I can never ever say that somebody is old. Wait a minute. How old is the man? 92? He's old. Do you know that he's the oldest president in the whole world? You shouldn't have that kind of responsibility. At that age, you should just be enjoying your children, your grandchildren, your great-great-grandchildren. Haba! The clueless part though, I don't know, because I think he knows what he's doing. All dictators know exactly what they're doing. But I'm telling you, young and old, women, yes, women and men, everybody came out, 2,000 of them. This man was asking Mugabe to explain how he spent $15 billion of their money, you know, and he said he wants his answer by 4:30 p.m. that day. Did you get your answer, my brother? Bless you, bless you, bless you. So this time around, police were there, but they didn't attack the people. I was like, thank God, thank God. The way I see it, now would be a good time for Mugabe to step down peacefully. Honestly, I don't think he should wait to die there. 35 years is enough. Do I get an amen? Yeah, you guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Before I leave today, I'd like to give some shout outs. And for the second year in a row, a Nigerian got accepted into all Ivy League schools in America. Yes, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for 17-year-old Augusta Nwamanzuna, who got accepted into all 8 Ivy League schools in America and all 4 other schools that she applied to as well. She scored a GPA of 101, and she has until May to decide where she would go to school. And it's not just her. Remember that last year I featured another Nigerian guy that also got accepted into all the Ivy League schools. Please give it up for Nigerian-born Harold Eke, who chose to attend Yale University after having a speak of all the 8 Ivy League schools. Both of them graduated from Elmont Memorial High School in a New York suburb, so we're very proud of them. And the last shout out today goes to a woman that has really inspired me. Please give it up for this girl, Nosamawanti Mahmood. She's a physically challenged young lady that has not allowed anything to stop her from living her life to the fullest. She uses her tongue to operate her cell phone and her laptop. I mean, how cool is that? She's not letting anything stop her from accessing information on the internet. That's amazing. Honestly, if she's able to do what she's doing, we don't have any excuse. If you're watching me today, I don't know what you could be going through, but clearly she's not letting her obstacles stop her. You can still find a way to do whatever you need to do. So hopefully she will inspire you today. Maybe you've been thinking about writing a book and you're waiting for the best time. If she's typing with her tongue, at least you don't have to type with your tongue. You're typing with your hands. Please write your book. If you're trying to go back to work or you're trying to go back to school, let her be an inspiration to you today. We're so proud of you and thank you so much for inspiring every one of us. But you guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real.
Growing up in Kenya, my sister and I were very close. But like any sisters, we fought a lot. She always got new clothes and I always got hand-me-downs. Now she's putting her children through school in Kenya. We still fight sometimes, especially when I send money for the kids. I tell her, buy some clothes for the younger one, and we both laugh.
With nearly 500,000 locations, our app and online, this is moving money for better.
So before I sign out, I want to thank everybody that came out to watch the show in Boston, this America South. Hello. It was so much fun. We had a lot of fun. Thank you everybody that came out. I was really moved. And of course, we'll be coming to Maryland, Texas, and you know, you guys invite us. Of course, we'll come. So thank you so much to everybody that came. We had a lot of fun. All right, y'all. It's been real. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's been real, and I'm keeping it real right up in here. Until next week, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace out.